Barabara kabisa mpenzi mtazamaji, kwa moyo mkunjufu nakaribisha kwenye mahojiano wa ana kwa ana na walimu kutoka shule mbili hapa kwenye kaunti ya Nakuru. Kwanza tunaanza na Bwana Nderitu ambaye ni mwalimu kwenye shule ya upili ya Teret na mwalimu Victor ambaye ni mwalimu wa shule ya upili ya Kreta, ili tuweze kujadiliana mambo kadha wa kadha kuhusiana na mambo ya elimu, haswa wanafunzi wa kidato cha 4 na darasa la 8 wanapojitayarisha kuingia kwenye msimu wa mtihani wa kitaifa, yani KCPE na KCSE. Karibu sana kwenye mahojiano wa ana kwa ana.
Asante sana.
Asante Victor. Yes. Kwanza ningependa mtueleze Mr. Nderitu. Nderitu ni nani?
Asante. My name is Herbert Nderitu. A teacher by profession. I've been in the profession for the last 25 years. All right. All this time continuously teaching mathematics. Right. Besides teaching, I'm also a family man. Yeah. I'm happily married, yeah. To one wife, yeah. And got children.
Yeah. Kwa majina naitwa Teacher Victor. Mimi ni mwalimu wa hisabati. Nafunza katika shule ya sekondari ya Kreta. And pia apart from teaching mathematics, I do tuitioning or coaching students, especially in the subject. I am in the process of becoming a family man.
Yeah. Mr. Nderitu, how did you make to become a maths teacher?
I actually developed passion way back from primary school.
All right.
I had a lot of passion,
yes,
in mathematics, and this was as a result of coming from a community that I could say by then, yes, had very few people, yes, who are conversant with the subject. Yeah. And I felt that if I could be able to become a teacher, yeah, I would play a very great role, yeah, in changing the mystery of mathematics being a hard subject in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. As in, can everybody pass maths and science as a subject in high school?
I would briefly say no one is a write-off.
Yes.
No student is a write-off.
Yes.
And given the opportunity and the time,
yeah,
everybody should be able to do well.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't feel that it is possible for a student to fail in mathematics. Yeah. It's a subject that should be done by everyone, without necessarily saying that one is good in it or, yeah, bad in another subject. Yeah. It's everyone's subject.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Victor, in your experience in teaching mathematics and physics,
yes,
do you think that every student can be able to pass physics and mathematics?
Definitely, yes. Every student can pass mathematics and physics, yes, depending on the attitudes towards the subject.
All right.
Once you develop a positive attitude,
all right,
you are good to go. Everyone can pass mathematics. Yes.
What are some of the techniques that a student should have in order now to pass the mathematics as a subject? Because maths in high school, I remember my experience back when I was in high school. Maths in the timetable was scheduled every day.
Every day.
Every day you must do mathematics.
Yes.
But English was not every day, but mathematics was every day. So it means that mathematics is like a backbone of the academic calendar. Now I'm asking, what technique should a student have in order to pass now the mathematics as a subject?
Now there is a saying in English that say, yes, practice makes perfect.
Definitely.
In mathematics, you need to practice daily.
Yes.
That is to mean in the morning,
yes,
during evening,
yeah,
lunchtime,
yeah,
so long as you have the positive attitude.
Yeah.
Then there is also a quote in the Bible that say,
yes,
my child,
yeah,
get wisdom,
yes,
do not stop learning.
Yes.
The same way with the mathematics, you should learn daily.
Yes.
Another advantage of mathematics arrange the brain.
Yes.
Now, when your brain is arranged mathematically correct,
yes,
we have other 7 subjects or more.
yes,
Let's say, for example, history, English, Kiswahili. So long as mathematics arrange in the brain, English will find its space. Kiswahili will find its space. And you can do mathematics day in, day out.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, there are some students also there who are preparing to do their KCPE and the KCSE exams in the coming days for 2018. And now, and they are doing their thorough revision for the last minute, and they are thinking, how prepared should I be in order now to pass these exams? How should you get prepared to pass the exam?
Okay, mathematics, just like any other subject, is a subject with instruction.
Yes.
And it involves formulas. In the paper, you'll be asked to write your name.
Yes.
Read instruction carefully.
Yes.
And at certain point, you are told even if your answer is wrong,
yes,
correct working may be awarded marks.
Definitely.
Let's say, for example, you are told to get the volume
yes.
of a cone.
Yes.
And you are told that that cone is melted to form a sphere.
Yes.
As a mathematical student, you are supposed to relate the volume, shape,
yes.
mass and density.
Yes.
And when you are told to get the volume,
yes.
you must know the unit for getting the volume.
Yeah.
Another thing, you should know what to use.
Yes.
That is the units.
Yes.
Now, if you read to understand the question, definitely you can score 2 out of 3 marks or 1 or 3 marks.
Yes.
Assume you are scoring 1 mark each out until the 21 question in mathematics.
Yes.
So how many marks do you have? 21.
Yes.
If you add 6 marks, 27. Already you cannot score E, even if you don't know mathematics.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just develop the positive attitude.
Positive attitude.
Yes. Then read to understand the question.
Yes.
Do not answer your own question, just read to understand.
Yes.
And especially the wording question,
yes.
just read thoroughly, underline the keyword that is being asked. Determine the volume, underline the volume.
Okay.
Determine the area, underline the area. Then relax. I normally tell students, if you see you have the pressure of doing something,
yes.
you breathe in twice and out once. You'll have released the pressure. You can now go do the mathematics.
Yes. All right.
I actually agree with
you.
my colleague here, Mr. Victor.
Yes.
The whole thing, the main thing in mathematics is practice.
Practice.
Practice, practice, practice.
Yes.
There's no shortcut.
Yes.
Normally, that which you perceive in doing
yes.
becomes easier.
Become easier.
Not because the nature of the task has changed, but our ability to do so increases. As you continue doing the practice, your ability to do it becomes easier. And the concept that could have appeared somewhat hard becomes easier, even to understand, even to answer during examination.
Okay.
Further still, the kind of exam that you normally do, the Kenya National Examination, is such that for you to be graded, you must have answered the question.
Definitely.
So the whole thing is the student must attempt the exam.
Questions.
Otherwise, there is no marking. There is no mark.
Yeah.
So I would urge the students to actually ensure that they tackle almost all the questions that are there without leaving blank spaces, because no one will be given marks for questions not answered.
Definitely.
And they should also start with, we normally advise them to start with what they know. If you start with a question that you're already conversant with, it will give you the energy and the willpower to move on. Particularly when you tackle questions that you can already be able to mark for yourself while you are still in the exam room. Because there are questions you can still be able to evaluate and say this one without even necessarily waiting for the Kenya National Examination Council to do the marking. You can be able to tell whether you scored.
Okay.
And that will push you to the next question. You move to the next question positively, you'll definitely do well.
Okay. Now, because I've been a maths teacher for a long time, do you have some of the achievements that you have achieved as a teacher of mathematics in your entire career?
Yeah, for the number of years I've been teaching,
Yes.
what I can remember very vividly is in 2012,
Yes.
I was able to scoop the Teacher of the Year award,
Yes.
Toy Award,
Yes.
at Nakuru County.
All right.
Besides that, currently the post
Yes.
that I have is as a result of a promotion
Yes.
from good performance in the same subject area.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you have some progress in your career as far as mathematics and physics is concerned?
Yes, I have progress,
Yes.
and mathematics have taken me places.
Yes. Share with us.
Yes. So being a teacher of mathematics, I do get calls that
Yeah.
we were referred to you by a colleague or a parent,
Yeah.
and currently I'm doing what is called tuitioning mathematics.
Yeah.
I do train students
Yeah.
from both levels, primary and secondary.
Yeah. All right, me, Mr. Nderitu.
Yes, please.
You have scooped an award within Nakuru County.
Yeah.
What is that one thing that you teach in class that other teachers don't teach?
Maybe I would rather say what I normally do, because
Yes.
I actually don't know what others do.
Okay.
But personally, I work with my students.
Yes.
I go down to their level,
Okay.
and you try to create a good rapport with them, bring them closer.
All right.
Because at the end of the day, if you want to get anything from them, like a good grade,
Yeah.
you have to be near them.
Definitely.
You have to interact with them freely, and also you have to sacrifice.
Okay.
Good grades are expensive.
Yeah, good grades are
Good grades are expensive.
Yeah.
So you have to find yourself sometimes even spending your own coin
Okay.
to bring a student back,
Back.
to encourage them.
Yes.
And basically that is what I normally do.
Okay.
I normally do to bring them closer, because only when they are close to you
Yes.
can they be able to perform well.
Okay. Now I would like you to look at that camera. There's a student outside there who is seated right there. He's busy revising the final touches. I would like you to advise that student and maybe advise him on what steps to make at the last minute before the exam approaches.
For the students out there who is actually preparing for an exam in the next maybe 2 weeks, my advice is go to the exam prepared. Forget about your worries. If you have done enough practice, then you'll do well. The only thing you need to do is ensure you go through the questions thoroughly. Start by choosing those questions that you feel you can be in a position to score marks. Then after that, it's also good to know there are some questions that contains instructions. It's always good to follow the questions that have instructions, because it is from the instructions that can be able to score the right answers. Particularly, there are some questions that are very tricky. Questions that may simply tell you, give your answer correct to the nearest cents. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. So if you don't follow to the latter, the instructions given in such questions, you can always find yourself missing the final accuracy mark. And then again, there are some questions or areas that we can say are obvious, areas that have always been tested year in, year out, areas that even for the last 15 or more years, they have never missed in exams. So these are areas that I would advise majority of the students, if they can be able to observe the neck threads in testing, to ensure that they do a lot of practice in those areas. Actually, what tunaziita tegemeo la wanyonge.
Ya wanyonge.
Tegemeo la wanyonge. And if I may say so, like particularly in a paper like mathematics paper 2, for Form 4s, there are topics that are quite obvious. Topics like SADs, a topic like further logarithms, a topic like binomial expansion, subjects of a formula, approximation and errors, equation of a circle. All these topics, if a student do a lot of practice in them, you'll not have scored anything less than 21 marks. Okay. And believe you me, from the grading system that is there, and from what we have always seen, it's not possible for a student to score an E in mathematics. Kama kabisa hata ukitegemea hiyo tegemeo la wanyonge, utakuwa umeweza kujiokoa na umepata alama mzuri kutoka E.
Yeah. Now, maybe to Mr. Victor.
Yes.
There are some students who they perform below average from Form 1 to Form 4.
Okay.
They tried their level best, but they got a D. The following term, they get an E. The other term, a D. They alternate D and E, D and E. Now, and they're going to the final exams. What would you encourage that student who have been performing below average, as in just giving him hope and maybe a tip that he can use in order now to conquer the national exams?
Personally, when I was a student in my time, I had a friend who used to score below average.
Below average.
And he approached me once. He was good in languages and technicals. I was doing exceedingly well in mathematics and science. And he approached me that you have 1 month and I am seeing like I'm not going to make it in mathematics. First of all, I want to tell students watching me outside there, I was also a student, especially before primary. I used to hate mathematics. But since I found a teacher who was able to listen to me and encourage me, she told me that everything is possible so long as you believe in yourself. Now back to this story. This student who used to go below average, I told him, now my friend, what you're going to do, look at the topics that you are conversant with. Try to do them your best. And when we did the exam, I was impressed because he was the first person to call me that, Victor, you know what? I made it in mathematics and I scored an A-.
Wow.
Meaning, it's possible. As the teacher has just said, read instruction carefully and please give the answer according to instruction. If the question wants you to give to 4 decimal place, let it be 4 decimal place. 3 significant figures, let it be. Another way of trying to give your best, okay, we are not made equal, but we can always give our best. When you go to look for something or you go to an event, the first thing people normally do is to look for people they are familiar with. They will greet themselves, and this person now can assist him or her where to sit and how to be in the event. The same way with mathematics, go do exam questions that you are conversant with. Then the rest, please, even if you can remember the formula, sometimes you never know. God's words are great. You will do wonders in your papers. And as a champion of mathematics, I believe all the way from Form 1, you have learned something. Go write that something on the paper, and you'll be surprised to get good grades.
Alright. To Mr. Nderitu, what advice would you give to the maths teachers in the other schools that they can use maybe a certain trick in order now for their students to excel the same as yours?
The first thing is they have to finish the syllabus early.
Finish syllabus early?
Finish syllabus early.
That's the priority.
Don't jump any topic.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, the student will always say, we never did this topic, we don't feel properly prepared for the exam.
Yeah.
But the moment you are through with the syllabus early, then student will have confidence that they can be able to tackle any topic.
Yeah.
Then if you finish the syllabus early, then start revision.
Yeah.
And revision should be such that it is organized.
Yeah.
You have organized revision. And then occasionally you can also have like a CashApp. we normally have CashApp for mathematics, where you can stay like the whole night with your student. You tackle mathematics. Maybe you only have some health breaks in the middle. And there is so much that you can be able to achieve within that time. Then, just like I said, no student is a write-off.
Yes.
And sometimes it's always good. You leave space for a miracle.
Yeah.
Because you may say a certain student may not be able to perform as you'd have thought, but then you'll be surprised.
A miracle happens. Yeah.
It does happen also. I've seen quite a number of cases. So have a good rapport with the students. Give them confidence. Show them that there is hope. Do not discourage them. Okay. Because at the end of the day, how you approach them, we normally say how you say it is actually very different from what you say. How you say is personal. Yes. What you say is something very different. So as a teacher, I would advise my colleagues to just walk, let them journey with the students and bring them close. You'll be surprised. They'll give you grades like you've never seen before.
Right. Now, as we wind up the show, Mr. Victor, I would like you to look at that camera and maybe give a final advice to the students and maybe to your fellow teachers who are teaching mathematics and physics in high school.
Okay, to fellow teachers, just as my colleague has just said, understand your students and lower yourself to their levels. Try to understand, because there are 3 types of students. There are slow learners, mid learners, and fast learners. As you engage all of them, make sure that all of them benefit, and first of all by changing their attitude towards mathematics. To students, I'll give you a quote from the Bible, Proverbs chapter 4 verse 13, that says, "Mkamate elimu. It pays to learn. Don't stop learning." You might learn new ways of solving problems in mathematics. Please do share with your fellow students, and as you share, you learn to know more. Mine, I can tell you, mathematics is possible and mathematics is life.
To Mr. Nderitu, what could you advise the fellow students and also the teachers, especially the students who are now approaching to do their KCSE, because KCSE they are almost, and no, there are a few days. Now you can tell them maybe your final advice, and maybe if the students are said there would like to meet Mr. Nderitu, how can that student reach you?
Okay, thank you. My advice to students is, one, we have to accept the fact that good grades are expensive. Expensive in the sense that you need to spend your time, do a lot of revision, not necessarily incurring any expense in terms of finances, but time is actually a factor to be considered. Take your time, do revision, and also it's good, believe in yourself. Success is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. And then again, I said that which you perceive in doing becomes easier as you do the practice. Practice, practice, practice. The sense is senseless if you read the whole dictionary and at the end of the day, you cannot be able to spell the word dictionary.
True.
If you do practice, at the end of the day, you should be able to recall and put down what you have been able to practice.
Yeah.
So the kind of exams we do, we have to answer the questions and answer in the time given. So I would urge my students that the 2.5 hours that is allocated, for example, in mathematics, you need to use it wisely. Start from the known and finish with the unknown, so that it will give you the confidence to be able to move on.
Bila shaka mpenzi mtazamaji, popote pale ulipo, umekuwa ukitazama mahojiano wa ana kwa ana hapa kwenye runinga uipendao ya Oracle TV. Na tumekuwa na walimu wawili, Bwana Nderitu ambaye ni mwalimu wa hisabati kwenye shule ya upili ya Teret, na mwalimu Victor, mwalimu wa hisabati kwenye shule ya Kreta, na ameweza kuzungumza mambo kadha wa kadha na wanafunzi ambao wanajitayarisha kwenye mtihani wa kitaifa wa KCPE na KCSE. Nami kufikia hapo sina budi ila kutamatisha mahojiano haya ya ana kwa ana, na nawatakia usiku mwema usiokuwa na usumbufu wa mbu au mke. Jina langu ni Leonard Ndegwa. Usiku mwema.